Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the Sweet Spot. My name is Ryan Embry, the host of the Sweet Spot. Thank you for joining us today. We've got a very special episode. I feel like I say that all the time, but there's a couple unique things about this episode. One, we are in our brand new content creation studio, aka the Digital Marketing Den. We spent the last couple months revamping our entire studio, podcast studio, for you, the listener, to make sure we had better audio quality for you, but also visuals. So if you were to go to YouTube right now, go to Travel Media Group's YouTube page, you would actually see and hear us. This is the first time we are doing video with the Sweet Spot. We are so excited. We have a very familiar guest. Jason, this is the first time, if you can believe it, that we've been face to face doing an episode of the Sweet Spot with as many as we've done since 2020. It's crazy, but welcome back to the Sweet Spot,
Thank you.
audibly and visually.
Yeah, this is awesome. It's really awesome in here. You guys did a great job.
Well, thank you so much, but we also have some awesome stuff to talk about what you have been doing, Jason. So, I'm gonna give the floor to you and talk about some an amazing announcement. One of our most popular episodes was the Instagram Reels episode. I think year to date is our most popular episode. There are a lot of hoteliers that are interested in it, but it's not just Instagram Reels. We're talking about video content today.
That's right.
So let's jump in. Why? I always love to kind of think, take a couple steps back to get to where we are today. Why did we? Why did you and your team decide to make this upgrade and create video content for hotels?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's a must in the toolkit of any hotel marketer. You're going to have video, and then looking at Reels, looking at TikTok, video content is extremely popular and extremely viral. So the things that are produced are seen. And it's not just seen by your audience, they're seen all over the place. So last July, I think, is when Meta made the decision to open up Reels into their API. So making it available for developers like us to be able to offer it. And at the time, we were really excited. And I think it was probably an answer to what was happening on TikTok. They were like, we're going to open this up and let it happen. But it made it available. So you have Reels for Instagram, obviously, but then there are also Reels on Facebook. And so making that all kind of come together, and that's why our team did this. And so we had the capability of putting Reels out a while ago. So, but we also wanted a way for you to do that. And I think what a lot of hotel marketers, right, not even hotel marketers, what a lot of marketers have trouble with is, what do I put out? How do I create a video? Do I need like an editing studio? What do I need to do to create a video? And we've simplified it, and we've made it a really cool part of our platform where you can just make a video from your media gallery.
And we're actually going to create. You've made it so simple. We're actually going to create a video for a hotel today
Yeah.
on this episode. So as long as it takes us to do this podcast, we're going to have a high quality of video for a hotel made, which is so cool to see.
Yes.
But you're right. I mean, any hotel you're listening to this, I would just challenge you to look at your Instagram feed or Facebook feed or whatever social media tool you use. What are you seeing more and more of? Those still images. It's almost like we had the copy version of social media where it was just all text, and then all of a sudden we elevated that to image, and now we're even going even further and going into video.
Yeah.
So a lot of the content that creators are leaning into is this video content. And you're right, hoteliers sometimes hear that word video content, they get overwhelmed, they don't know. They think, okay, well, maybe I need to go out and hire a whole production crew, right? Because that's how we in the hotel industry, do our hotel photography. Maybe it's me grabbing a video and going around the lobby. Those are obviously a couple different ways, but this way that you've created is so much more simpler and easier to do with assets, digital assets that hoteliers own already.
That's right. And I think, you're absolutely right in that, especially Instagram, where it was largely a visual medium and it was the place to share your vacation photos, and it still is. But when you see the engagement on video there and in other places, it's insane. It's so much more. And I think it's because so many people are expecting it. And you stay longer. So once you watch that first video, then you go right into the next video and the next video. The next thing you know, you're sitting there, watching labradoodles all day long.
Down the rabbit hole,
Yeah.
right? There was a Super Bowl ad just about that, about how you can get into this. But one of the places, and just to give a couple quick stat on Instagram Reels. Instagram 1.5 billion daily users. Reels grew from 2 to 220 million users between July and October. An insane amount of users in a small amount of time. 62% of Instagram users say they use it to research brands and products. Yes, that's over Facebook, which takes second place at 55%. And it's the preferred app of 16 to 24-year-olds, and it's still beating TikTok. But Reels is unique because of the Explore page and being able to put your hotel's Instagram Reels in an organic place where people can reach you.
Yeah.
Talk to our listeners a little bit about what that means.
So when you post content, you're posting it out onto your feed, and people that are following you can see that. So that's that normal kind of thing. When it comes to Reels, you post that out, it does go to your feed as well. But now you're in this other place, and you're in a place where people can explore videos. They're exploring videos from all over the place. And the algorithm that Instagram uses to show you videos is based on your preferences and based on things you're doing. So you're a hotel, you want to reach travelers. Travelers are on Instagram wanting videos about travel.
Right.
That then you make that connection. But what's cool about that is that when you make that post, it's not just static staying on your page. Now this is actually out there, and able to be viewed by a lot of people. And what's cool about this, and I think what is going to be the continuing trend, is that it's all about time on site. So Meta wants more people to wants to keep people longer, because that's where they see more ads. So the longer you stay on, so they're constantly refining their algorithm to keep people on longer and longer. And it's all about content that they want to see. So someone researching travel in an area that you are at, they're definitely going to come across your video.
But you have to be on it.
Yes.
And that is
Yeah.
the key to this, right? I mean, we can throw stats back and forth all day about how many users, the ability to do this and that on Instagram. But if you're not creating these Instagram Reels, you lose, because you're not going to have the opportunity to be chosen. So it's all about taking that first step, whether it's with a company like Travel Media Group, or going out and doing it on your own. So again, I feel like this is all how we always end our episodes, but just always encourage you. You have to take that first step of being in the arena. Otherwise, you're never gonna be able to catch the attention of a traveler.
It's so true. But I think it's all about whatever your intention is, and I think this is like the beginning of the year, and we probably have like fresh, or maybe not so fresh, marketing plans that we created maybe October, November of last year. And now we're trying to get into those. And depending on the segments we're trying to reach, the occupancy ADR goals that we have, all of those things are kind of in flux. And you have these tools that are at your disposal, but it's really about, how do I get in? How do I start using them? But it's even further than that. And that's, how do I create a plan to consistently create content and consistently keep people engaged? Because that's the trick. The trick is, I do this one time and I'd be like, sweet, I got a video out, it looks good, everybody's checking it out, right? And then maybe I'll come back to this in the end of summer,
Yeah,
when I'm less busy. So there's a lot of like nuance to this, but the biggest part of it is that you're going to have to consistently create content.
yeah, and there's a reason why our social media content calendar within the TMG platform is one of the most heavily used spaces. Is
Yeah.
because we're planning that consistency. We're always looking ahead as hoteliers. What's the next occupancy driver in our market? Where do we need occupancy, and fill those gaps?
Yeah.
Instagram is also being used as a search engine and tool.
Oh yeah.
Social media, that younger generation that we talked about, that same younger generation that led the recovery and after the pandemic, they are using social media more than they're using places like Google and Bing. So if you're not in that arena, if you don't have content out there, it's really doing your hotel a disservice.
100%. I mean, you think about most of the places that your hotel has data. So your brand, if you have a brand, or your website, OTAs, even places like TripAdvisor and Google, it's a lot of static information, rates and availability, your images from hopefully recent, but probably from a while ago. So a lot of static information. And I think what travelers are looking for is they're looking for current information. And what's more current than should be more current than your social media pages.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure we'll talk about how, video content really can fit into every single stage of the traveler's journey. But we kind of teased this at the top of the episode. Let's jump into TMG One View and kind of maybe take a crash course on how to create one of these. And
Yeah.
again, while Jason's setting that up and we're getting that pulled up on the screen here, if you want to visually see what we're doing in real time, just go to YouTube. You can visit our page and see just how simple it is. But we're going to talk to those listeners that are through our audio medium, step by step what we're doing, so that you don't feel left out as well.
Okay. So what we have here is our publishing page, and this is where all of your media lies. So this is where you have all of the images for your property. If you have video, and you can kind of set them up so you can put them into categories. Images for inside your room, images for your facility, images for your area. So all those categories kind of exist, so you have a way of organizing them. And then you can upload as many as you want here. And then we have this little create button. And once you click that, it's going to take you into our video creation studio. And this is where you have the ability to select a template. And so we have a bunch of different templates. And as you can see on here, we have our 1x1, and this is a very standard video template. So this is the kind of video that you can put on a feed pretty much on any site. And then you have the 9x16, and this lends itself more to reels, more to story posts, TikTok. So that's that type. And you can see here the little logos that will show you what compatible sites you have that these will go with. So once you select a template, then it puts you right into adding media. So as you can see here, our first little part is where you can upload media or you can add from your media gallery. And so maybe on this one, we want to talk about our property. So we insert an image from our property, and we quickly add some text.
Yeah, and what Jason's doing right now is actually adding text over the image. So again, it's not just a static image that's sitting there, but actually text that's coming over the image as it's playing in the
That's
video.
right. You also have the ability to select soundtrack. We have adventure travel, happy travel, staycation in the weekend, just a bunch of different kinds of fun tracks. So I'm going to select happy travels, and then I hit next, and then I can continue adding. So here I'm going to add a picture of my room. It's actually a text track.
and the other great thing that that hoteliers can do with this is actually use this content outside of social media, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
You can use it. You can download it as MP4, a .mov, and use it in email marketing campaigns, right? Case studies for groups and testimonials. Create these types of videos directly within OneView and save them, and you have so many other uses other than just social media. I think sometimes people get caught up and just say, well, I've got someone running my social media right now. There's other uses to create this type of content.
Definitely. So I just did check out our king bedroom, and now here's our 2 bedroom. And now once I click preview, it pushes out into our video engine, and it's going to come back with this. And so, yes, it's still photography. Just like you said, there's images that are going to come over the top of that. But as you're going to see in a second, there's also movement inside of the images. So even though it's actually static, we're actually changing the focus of where it's at inside of the image. And you don't have to have a 9x16 image in order to make these either. So the system will automatically sort of resize to make sure that it fits inside of the frame without it looking stretched or pixelated. So just that fast, we now have a video that we can play and we can show. And like you said, you can download it. You could put it elsewhere. This is like something if you wanted to have it inside of your email signature, or you wanted a way to show different aspects
YouTube
of your
page.
property. YouTube page for sure. And so you can see here, you can add a video description. You can select category and tag, and you add the video directly right into your media gallery.
Talk to us a little bit about how video fits within the traveler's journey, because we've kind of talked about this. Obviously, a lot of people think social media is just used for inspiration, but you really dive into kind of that post booking,
Yeah.
pre-stay and even advocacy post day.
Yeah.
So kind of talk through us and where this video content might fit in within that.
Yeah, it's like you said. I think inspiration to travel is that first thing we think of as like somebody before they've never encountered us and now they're encountering us for the first time. And I think that there's definitely a place for that there. But you think about the number of people that continue searching post booking, and it's crazy. It's a crazy number. So they continue to search. And it's taken them a while. In a lot of cases, it takes them, could be hundreds of searches or hundreds of touch points in a search to get to you. They finally book and then they continue looking. It's really like almost confirming their purchase. And so as they're continuing looking, they're going to re-encounter you. And what it shows there, and how they encounter you is really important. And that could also be what they do to share with maybe the people they're traveling with. Or, this is further confirmation that the place I've chosen is a good place to stay, everybody. Let's. And so then in stay, I think it continues to be something that could be valuable. So it could be events that I have going on, or it could be other parts of my property that a video describes and explains. So it continues to be something that is valuable to the traveler. And then in post stay, it continues again. Then so it could be content that travelers either give you through the things that they're posting, where you can repurpose that, or it could even be them posting videos that you repost. So these are all these content pieces that are full circle, but it's not just one thing. This is a place where people find information and confirm value. So don't just like, brush it by the wayside as something that's like ancillary and maybe I see my kids wasting time on it, but I don't want to trust it. But this is a thing.
Yeah, and a lot of the content and images that we talked about are probably we just had Valentine's Day, right? How many hoteliers out there did a whole marketing campaign around Valentine's packages or stays or romantic getaways that they were trying to promote at the property? Putting those image in this video creator and creating something that you can put out there takes this to the next level. And you're right. I mean, it's just going to inspire. It's going to help secure those bookings at that stage when they're in it. It's going to help them, promote the property even more afterwards. So, there's really no downside to it.
No.
But I think right now it's just that trepidation of jumping right into the video content, and you've made it extremely easy for really anyone to kind of jump in if they want to.
Yeah. And let me show you really quick. We just made that video. I just added it to the gallery. So let me show you really quick. So you can see that Facebook is already enabled on here. So I could actually make this a Facebook post if I wanted to, just without it being on a reel. But if I go ahead and publish to reels down here, you can see that Instagram automatically lights up. I go into to preview this, and now I can actually preview, and it'll show me exactly what it'll look like on Facebook and Instagram Reels. I can adjust my text here, and then I can schedule and publish it, and it goes right out.
And that's
So
how you get into that coveted
yeah,
explore page, right? And then
exactly.
all of a sudden, Jason's hotel right now is in a space where hotel or travelers that are interested in actually traveling,
Yeah,
you have the opportunity to get in front of those eyes.
yeah,
It absolutely amazing. Like I said, in Instagram Reels and talking about it was our most popular episode that we've done. So clearly there's an appetite for it, I think, on both sides of the coin. It's just about getting in and using a tool like TMG One View and their uh, social media feed to help you with this.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, right now we have reels covered, and video posting on, and so you can post a regular video. So that 1x1 video that we had on there, you can post that on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. So you have all of those to go. With the 9x16, you can go Facebook, or if you want to go on Reels, and very soon we'll have TikTok as well, as it is going to be part of our platform. We're already kind of in production to make that happen. But I think even, further than that, right now, this is available in our self-publishing tool on OneView, but we will be offering video content as part of our social content, in the months to come. So a lot of exciting things happening, but really, it's really all about how do we benefit? How do we create relevant information for travelers to help you secure those travelers, help you convert those reservations, help you keep them once they make a reservation, help you discover new travelers.
Yeah, the appetite is really out there. I mean, we've seen even here at Travel Media Group, this is the most inquiries we've got about social media for hotels. They're looking for opportunity to capture more market share. They might have done that hotel marketing strategy that you talked about at the end of the year
Yeah,
and saw social media as a huge opportunity, a huge gap in their marketing strategy. And these are the type of hotels and hotel management groups that we're currently talking to and rolling out things like this, and even talking about in the future going into TikTok. That's huge, and that's how you gain that competitive advantage and capture more market share there. So uh,
absolutely.
very, very cool. Any final thoughts before we wrap up on our first video audio episode?
No, I think just I guess my final thought would be that this is not something that I think you should ignore. And I think for a lot of us, we have so many things going on, and running hotels is extremely challenging. But I think you can't ignore this as one of these things that is not going away. The future traveler is here, and
Yes.
they're already doing this. And so if you look generationally, this is already happening. So it's whether or not you're going to participate in it or not. And I think if you are listening to this right now, it probably means that you are thinking about doing something and wanting to further gain market share and have a better market position. And there is really right now, I don't think there's an easier way to do that than through social media.
Yeah. And it's becoming the expectation with that new age traveler that you're talking about. It's new times. And yeah, it's exciting times for sure. So,
Yeah.
Jason, it was great having you back in studio for the
Yeah.
first time in the new content creation studio. Thank you all for listening, and we'll talk to you next time on the Sweet Spot.
Great. Thanks.